There's no doubt that I'm an extremist. I might not look like one, I might not live like one. I certainly don't love like an extremist. But I've taken some extreme positions in my life. It really started 33 years ago when I wrote The Terror of Pediatric Medicine. And then a year or two later, I coined the term pharmaceutical terrorism, which I also call medical terrorism. And it's the greatest terrorism in the world. The Muslim fanatics could never keep up with doctors and the type of terrorism, medical terrorism, they practice. It puts me extremely to the right. I would not call myself a right-wing extremist because I still have a lot of my liberal roots. Watching my fellow Americans, the liberals, go crazy and start moving towards insanity has driven me to the right. And with some things, I don't think there's anybody more extremely on the right. Specifically, I reserve most of my energy to medicine, writing about medicine, trying to create and succeeding in creating the future of medicine, which AI, I use 3 of them, support and mirror. It's very difficult. Well, first of all, there's nobody. There are a lot of people writing very intensely for many years about COVID, the COVID vaccines, the gain-of-function research. Many reputable people going on the line talking about thousands and millions of people dying or being disabled from these shots. And yet nobody goes to jail. Nobody even will say, I haven't heard one person mirror me and call a spade, even use the phrase pharmaceutical or medical terrorism. It's part of our civilization. It's built into us to be kind to doctors. I find it very difficult to be kind to doctors. Not that there are not some excellent doctors, but the mainstream of medicine is absolutely a horror story. Most mainstream doctors are slaves to the system, to the pharmaceutical companies, to the medical boards, and if they step out of line, well, some are shot, some are murdered, but they get their license taken away, they get fired from their jobs. So the civilization reinforces pharmaceutical terrorism and won't even speak its name. Trump, to his credit, he might be a little crazy, but there are certain things he's done. Bring Kennedy in, and even though they have not banned mRNA vaccines, and maybe the reason for that is because most of the Congress and senators are paid off by the pharmaceutical companies. So they're really pharmaceutical whores. But but to Trump's credit, he brought Kennedy in, and Kennedy, beside banning the COVID injections, stopped giving them to children, performed a miracle in reducing the childhood vaccine program, bringing it close to what they do in Europe, specifically Denmark, where they only vaccinate for 11 diseases, where in the United States it's 17. So the United States federal government has reduced it. That's a miracle. I'm very familiar with Dr. Robert Malone, who's working now in the CDC, which I consider a terrorist organization, along with the FDA. And the NIH was also, until Kennedy took over. under FARSI, a terrorist organization. Medical terrorism means it's against humanity. It's for making people sick and making a lot of money out of it. I was insinuating to Dr. Malone, who decades ago was one of the people who led to the creation of mRNA technology. Of course, now he's turned against it for sure, and all through COVID has been talking against it. I would needle him or ask him, what's it like to work inside of a terrorist organization? And is there any hope to turn a medical terrorist organization around? I thought it was impossible. Though last week I congratulated Dr. Malone for being a miracle worker, him and the group, to change to reduce the childhood vaccination program is a miracle. And that came from the CDC. So Kennedy and Malone and the other people on the vaccine committee are heroes, have gone against pharmaceutical terrorism. And though many anti-vaxxers would like to see no vaccines or would not vaccinate their children use any vaccine, zero, still a reduction is a great move. So I still think, and for sure the FDA, they've done nothing to vindicate themselves, showing how right-wing I am. I would have both of these buildings or organizations closed down and start from scratch. From what we're hearing from the CDC, maybe it's not quite necessary, but it's many years of being terrorists. What do we do with terrorists? Well, we don't put them in jail anymore. Fauci, Gates, they all walk free. Rich men, immune from prosecution. And that's my biggest complaint about the Trump administration. They haven't put anybody in jail. And there's a lot of people who belong in jail. And that includes a lot of doctors and medical boards and people in the Army who are quite responsible for Operation Warp Speed. So that's what I have to say today.
If you want to go deeper with me, follow me on Substack. You can join for free and receive my newsletters and weekly videos, or become a paid subscriber to access all my exclusive content. The link is in the description.